Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining and welcome, subscribers and new subscribers. We've had a bit of a jump. So if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so that you'll know when we are going live. And we have Yellow Shirt Dad here with us. So let's welcome him into the chat. See if I can do this.
Yep.
There.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody
Um,
doing? Hope everybody's well.
yeah. Now, Jean, we've heard that you're having some weather issues in Virginia. Can you let us know? Give us an update about the
Yeah,
hurricane.
yeah. It's a tropical storm Ophelia, and right now the eye is just up on me right now. Just all that's going on is just heavy rain. I don't. I can hear a little bit of wind outside, but the eye is coming through, and this is a slow moving storm. It's been here most of the day, and I did get a let up to make a video, but now it's gone into that eye of the storm, and I'm in the yellow right now, which is heavy rain, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
So you're getting heavy rain right now,
Heavy
or is
rain.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
just
wow.
heavy rain. I could hear it. A little bit of wind gust, but not too bad. So hopefully it'll
Gosh,
be out of here quick.
hopefully. Gosh, we've had bad winds here as well, and
Mhm,
it's been for the first time I've turned my heating on. People, I couldn't take it. My fingers were too cold. So.
mhm.
So, yeah, that's, I hope you're gonna stay safe and you've got,
Yeah,
emergency contacts or, I hope it doesn't get will they
yeah.
let you know when it goes into a warning or
They should. Right now, the only warning we have out here is flooding. So
oh,
because of the heavy rainfall, there's flash flood warnings out. So
oh,
hopefully it'll just go on out of here. Where I'm at, it's a pretty good area where there's no flooding, but some areas have already started to flood around the outlying areas. But it should be okay. I've been through worse tropical storms here, and it's kind of ironic too because I think it was either 20 or 21 years ago we had Isabel come through, almost the same path. So it's kind of eerie a little bit that 20 years ago we had the same thing happen.
oh my goodness.
But it's not too bad. And actually, it's cool outside. I thought maybe a tropical storm it would bring humidity, a little bit higher temperatures, but it's about 68. I think the temperature is 68 right now, 67. Yeah,
Oh
67 heavy rain.
gosh. Now, so I thought to get us going now, just a reminder, everybody, we're streaming to both Yellow Shirt Dad's channel and
Mhm,
my channel. So if I happen to not put some comments in where you can see them, and we've talked about them, it's just that they may be coming from his
mhm.
chat. Okay, so now I thought to get us started, we could watch a small clip of are we in Orwellian times? Because
Mhm.
I mean, what does it actually mean? So I'm going to play that for everyone, and we'll listen to this. Okay.
Or followed politics, chances are you've heard the term Orwellian thrown around in one context or another. But have you ever stopped to think about what it really means or why it's used so often? The term was named after British author Eric Blair, known by his pen name George Orwell. Because his most famous work, the novel 1984, depicts an oppressive society under a totalitarian government, Orwellian is often used simply to mean authoritarian. But using the term in this way not only fails to fully convey Orwell's message, it actually risks doing precisely what he tried to warn against. Orwell was indeed opposed to all forms of tyranny, spending much of his life fighting against anti democratic forces of both the left wing and the right. But he was also deeply concerned with how such ideologies proliferate. And one of his most profound insights was the importance that language plays in shaping our thoughts and opinions. The government of 1984's Oceania controls its people's actions and speech in some ways that are obvious. Their every move and word is watched and heard. And the threat of what happens to those who step out of line is always looming overhead. Other forms of control are not so obvious. The population is inundated with a constant barrage of propaganda made up of historical factured in the Ministry of Truth. The Ministry of Peace is the military. Labor.
With back to school season, Grammarly is a student essential you need to.
Okay, so that will give us a bit of an idea of what Orwellian means. Okay, so now did it keep playing while I was talking? so
I
in
think it
case you don't know, yeah, George Orwell wrote a book in 1984. And some say it was warning us that the words we used will be monitored and forbidden. And what we write, what we say will have consequences. And that to get us, looking at this in our times, I thought, let's look at a real life true story that's happening right now. And the backdrop is the new online safety bill that was announced in the UK government. So if you haven't caught that, I'm going to play that video that I put up just before going live. I did a premiere. So shall we have a look at that, and then we'll come back and we'll start to talk about.
Yeah, I'd like to take a look at it because that'd be interesting to see that.
Okay, so now I have to. This is so. Let's go to that, and we'll have a look. Can you see it on the screen?
Yep, I see something coming up now.
Okay. Gov.uk announced the online safety bill has reached royal assent, and we will discuss this further in our video, Are We in Orwellian Times? Let's listen to a clip from my interview with Sean Atwood. Then I will give you a bit of information on just why maybe this is why YouTube turned off Russell Brand's monetization. To be careful because it's YouTube's reputation as well. So if we're going against what has already been, let's say, deemed in the courts or deemed, by reports, then if you're going against that, then obviously you could stir up problems. I mean, look at that one influencer in New York. All he did was say, I'm going to be giving away computers in, I don't know if it was Times Square, but within minutes, there was almost riots on the streets. So you have to be so careful what you put out there in the media, Anyway, I'm talking too much.
No, that's fine. We want you to talk as long as possible, answers as long as possible. That's what we prefer on this channel.
If you've not heard of Sean Atwood, you're missing out. His YouTube channel is on its way to 800,000 subscribers. His channel offers a variety of playlists interviewing experts, real-life stories from people who have committed or survived crimes. He produces hard-hitting documentaries that will educate the viewer. I am very impressed with his commitment to justice, so check him out. All the links are in the description area below. So,
Yeah, I think that was really good.
So it's still going in my ear. Why is that? Can you guys hear it still?
No, I can't hear it.
Oh, that is so weird. Okay, just a minute. Hold on, folks. Something's going
Okay.
on. It's playing.
Hello to everyone in the chat.
Yeah. Can I give you the room, give you full screen? Just a second here. Okay. So let okay. Just a minute. For some reason, it's still playing. Okay, so for some reason, everything was still playing on my end, and nobody could hear anything.
Yeah, we can't. I mean, I can't hear anything.
Yeah, it was very strange. Okay. So that gave us a good idea of what's going on. And with the online bill, what's happening is um, this online safety bill has 5 policy objectives to increase user safety online, to preserve and enhance freedom of speech, so that like I've noticed, for example, when I've been reading it through, that people will no longer be able to set up an anonymous account, so they can't create that. Number 3 is to improve law enforcement's ability to tackle illegal content online. And if you're, you heard from that there are going to be huge fines that will definitely wake up platformers to make sure that they are, staying in line. 4 is to improve users' ability to keep them safe. I have noticed some channels have no way of reaching them. So, for example, if like in defamation cases, if let's say somebody leaves a comment on your channel and it is insulting or something like that, then you have a right to ask the creator to take that down. You can also report it to YouTube. So I think it's going to be important for platform users, like the creators themselves, to make sure that they have an email so that other people can get a hold of them. So I think that's one way of protecting yourself, because if they can get a hold of you, then they're more likely to go to you directly than, go and complain to someone else. So 5 is to improve society's understanding of the harm and landscape. So have you heard, with that YouTuber in New York, remember he created a huge uproar in New York, just telling some people that he was going to sell some things. So, yeah. Now, let me show you what happened when I tried to play a video. This was kind of interesting. Let me see if I can put it like this. And basically, I was sent a video by another YouTuber, and I can show you on the screen. So here, this is what I was sent. Can you guys see it on the screen?
Yeah, I can see it. It's up.
Okay. So what happened was, I'll put it back on. So if you can see there, it says geographic restriction.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, not available in your area. Huh. Interesting.
So yeah, so I was
Yeah.
wondering, if anybody else, I will
Mhm.
leave it in the credits when we're finished with this video. But I thought it was rather interesting
Mhm.
that I, that I couldn't get it. Now I don't know if
Mhm.
it's been restricted or if
Yeah.
it, just that's not available in this area. I don't know.
Mhm. And when you say that you have to have an online account, you have to have that registered. Is it sort of like they're taking out something to be anonymous, or because you can make an email address up for 5 minutes or anything like that. So it has to be registered. Is that what I'm understanding? Or
Yeah, well, we'll see because
Mhm.
like how people sometimes they'll put a channel name, but it
Mhm.
won't be their real name, and so I think it'll be that to make a channel name up, like
Mhm.
how you have to sign up to YouTube before you can make comments
Yeah.
somebody's video. So if you don't have, I'm sure that's what it means. It will mean that you're
Yeah.
going to give a lot more information about who
Mhm.
you are before you can start even leaving comments, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
And that's
Um,
almost like what Wayne's World Unlimited says. Is that goodbye freedom? I mean, are we looking that you're going to lose some things with this? It's eerie, kind of like that. That's my first thought that I had too. He said it, goodbye freedom of speech and goodbye freedom there, at least a little bit. Are they trying to nibble at something and then while we're not paying attention and then go next thing you know we've lost everything.
yeah. Well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
now, Jean, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to
Okay.
try to share. I want everyone to know your channel. So
Mhm.
I'm going to share screen again. It's good. And I want to play something from Yellow Shirt Dad's channel. And can
Mhm.
you see it up there on the screen?
Yep.
Okay. So I noticed. Let's play one of your latest jokes here. Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one because I got a rainbow in it.
Switch to Chrome to protect yourself from malware. Less worry.
Now I had this already. We lost it all with the. Okay, so I'm just waiting for it to get to the part, and then I can hopefully. Oh, it's still playing. So this is something.
Maybe
See, we
see if you
don't get
could
to
go there
see
and
what you
hit
guys are seeing. That's
that.
the
Yeah.
problem. Okay, here he goes.
Day, and the fountain behind me, the way the wind was blowing, it had a little small rainbow on it. And it's kind of cool because that's the second fountain I've seen with a rainbow with the wind blowing just the right time to show you all those colors. I have a video for it, and it's out there. I hope you enjoyed it. But hey, let's get to the joke of the day. And this one's out there for my lawyer friends. Have you heard about the lawyer's word processor? No matter what font you select, everything comes in fine print. Yes. And read the fine print. Oh, look, there's a rainbow right there. Look at that. Yes. Woo. All right.
Yeah. And that was like the third one of the day. And I have not put that video out. It's coming out scheduled for next week. But I had 3 fountains that I went to say, oh no, that's all right. No, it's fine. It's
I thought it's on your channel now. I just played
Oh
it.
no, it's not. I had to put it together. I'm just still learning how to use Camtasia. So I finally did it. I finally learned it, finally uploaded it. It's going to come out next week. But when I was making that video, I had 3 fountains that if you looked at it, it's got the rainbow on it. The wind was just right and the sun was just right. So, and I think I'll have one more after that. But yeah, that was interesting because that rainbow happened right when I was doing the joke and I could see it in my phone and I'm like, oh, it's right behind me. Cool. It was over my left shoulder. So it was pretty cool. But thank you for sharing.
But I noticed you gave a little disclaimer out there so you wouldn't offend anybody. So can you tell us how you go through your process of picking your content and
Yeah. Yeah, I try to pick jokes. Now, most of these are dad jokes, and so they're going to be, kid friendly, family friendly. I have had some requests to do a little bit more adult jokes, and I believe I've done a couple of those already. But I kind of cringe at some of them I'm reading and looking at them. I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't. I can't read this out on the air because you got to think about what you're going to say. Some of the catchphrases, some of the words. I don't want to get a strike or something else on me about what words I use and things like that. So you got to, that's the only thing that I want to try to do is like, hey, I try to look at each joke and say, okay, looks like a good one. This one looks like it's not going to offend anybody or anything like that. So it's just a quick thing I go over in my head to look at it. And yeah, some of them are silly, but that's the way we're just having fun. So, but yeah, I do sit down and take each one of the jokes and kind of look at it and say, I guess this will be okay to put out there. Some of them are like, ooh, I hope I didn't, say something bad or.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody has ever experienced this, have you had training at work about the words you use? Like I know when I was working for, different government offices, different local government offices, we had training on words that we shouldn't be using. So put a 1 in the chat if you guys have ever experienced that, had training, with your boss or your work. I'm sure school teachers do.
Yeah, I've had to do that with several jobs of mine. You have to go through, gosh, I don't know what they call it. It is training. Now it's lost the top of my head. But I've had to sign consent forms, things like that, disclosure forms, and we have to do training once a year. Sensitivity training, I think. Maybe that's what they call it.
Yeah, it's we definitely had that, and we were told we weren't allowed to use the word like nitty gritty anymore, for example. Brainstorming, we were told not to use. So there's lots of times, when you're told not to use stuff. And for example, I've done videos on understanding perception, right? And if you're going to court, there's one that I've done that for people, to be able to, put a statement together, and I'll link that in the end of this video. But what I wanted to talk about, which I thought was really interesting, and I just put it up on the screen, but let's see if I can read it now, because it's so little for me. So can you guys see that?
Yeah, I can see it. I can read a little bit of it.
Yeah, so I'll read it for you so that you don't have to read it, okay? And I've split it into 2 parts, but it's 1 letter just so that it would fit on the screen. So this is what a lot of people have been in an uproar about. Now, an MP from the Department of Culture, Media, and Sport Committee and you can see it up there. She's got the House of Commons, letterhead, and they wrote to Rumble. Okay. And this is what they were saying. Can you see that? Yeah. So, yeah, they're saying, Dear Chris, I'm writing concerning the serious allegations regarding Russell Brand in the context of his content provider on Rumble with more than 1.14 million followers. The Culture, Media, and Sport Committee is raising questions with the broadcasters and production companies who previously employed Mr. Brand to examine both the culture of the industry in the past and whether the culture still prevails today. However, we are also, and this is the second part, we are also looking at the use of his social media, including on Rumble, where he issued his preemptive response to the accusations made against him by the Sunday Times and Channel 4's dispatchers. While we recognize that Rumble is not the creator of the content published by Mr. Brand, we are concerned that he may be able to make profit from his content on the platform. We would be grateful if you could confirm whether Mr. Brand is able to monetize his content, including the videos relating to the serious accusations against him. If so, we would like to know whether Rumble intends to join YouTube in suspending Mr. Brand's ability to earn extra money on platforms. We would also like to know what Rumble is doing to ensure that creators are not able to use the platform to undermine the welfare of victims of inappropriate and potentially illegal behavior. Yours truly. So now let me get this off. So can you believe this?
No.
It's just hard to believe, isn't it? Go
Mhm.
back to us. I think this is, yeah. So, oh, I'm trying to exit out. So what do you think of all that, Yellow Shirt Dad?
I mean, that's interesting to say the least. I tell you what. I mean, so it looks like he's not getting, or they held his monetization. It looks like.
Well, they took away his monetization.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me
Hmm.
just trying to get us out of here. So just a second here. It's all gone everywhere. Okay. So there. So yeah, so YouTube demonetized him, and that was what the video I played at the beginning was about.
Yeah.
So he's been accused in the press, right? This this documentary that went out about him. And so YouTube has decided to demonetize him. So they've written to Rumble to see if has anybody ever seen that before. Like, it's like,
No.
It makes you wonder,
I mean, yeah, it does. It's almost like when I'm going through and I watch other people's videos or lives, they tell you, you can't use certain words or stay away from certain words, things like that. So it's almost like you got to be careful of what you're doing, or at least what you're talking about, which is kind of interesting. It kind of goes along with the Orwellian thing.
It does, isn't it? It's like, if something happened at work, normally they would do an investigation and you'd be put on leave. You most likely wouldn't lose your paycheck. So I just thought it was a bit overreaching.
Oh, but there's things that even with email, I've been with companies that have certain keywords. If you start typing or you say something in your email, it'll come back and they'll say, warning, you have some words in here that we're not going to let this email go through. And that's the first time I've ever seen that. It was nothing derogatory that I was typing. It was just certain keywords. And I think some of it could have been either maybe not, I don't know if it was profanity or other keywords, but they stopped that email from going out and said it's got to be if you've got to go through here and redo it. So it's just like, wow.
And like when I was working within the courts, they had, like, there would be, what do you call, like, if something, if let's say your email had a bit too much skin color, then you would get a notification to say, what, is there an issue with this or something?
Mhm.
You know, so they can set up all kinds of things to make
Yeah.
sure, right?
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah. And I always use this because I've worked in information technology. I when I went into jobs, you've got to know that they're watching. They're always going to be watching you, no matter what you're doing on that computer. They know exactly what you're doing. They sit there and they can monitor you because that's not your property; it's theirs, and whatever goes out is through their filters. So, and it'd be curious if anybody in the chats had to do that, sign disclaimer forms, or have been sent something out that got returned saying it's not going to go out because of the words you've selected. It's almost, I
yeah,
mean, I know it's control and I know they have to answer to that, but it's just interesting that it's gotten to be kind of tighter and tighter, more, tighter control in the last couple of years than it was, say, 15 years ago.
yeah. I mean, I haven't seen anybody in the chat say that they've had it happen to them at work.
Mhm.
But what I'd like to do is to have everybody let us know where you are from,
Yeah.
and then we can say hi to you. And let's see where everybody's from. I'm living in England, and I'm a Canadian originally. So if people wonder where my accent is from, it's a bit muddled. That's why, because I've been in England for 27 years, but I still haven't, for some reason, been able to
Been able to
get.
get rid of the.
And that's another thing. My it's
No.
all perception, isn't it? So you hear my accent and you automatically think that I'm not in England.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all about. Words are all about perception, aren't they?
Oh, exactly.
What I think is something may not be what you are. I mean, in the interview I did with we've got for example, that girl I was telling you, this interview here,
Mhm.
she said, it's a really good interview, but she said just because her accent is different, people don't think
Mhm.
she's educated. And
Well,
that's something that I've kind of wondered myself, if you're not really posh speaking, or
mhm.
you know so okay, so we'll after we see where people are from, I'm going to read you the response from Rumble, and I'm telling you, it is a
Oh,
bit
wow.
it was unbelievable. Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm really looking forward to that. So let's see if we've got Arkansas,
Arkansas, yep.
Lexi from Arkansas. And there, Jean, if you want to read the chat and then I don't have to multitask, you can see it up on the screen because it's a tiny little screen for me.
Oh, yeah. Well, this looks like Arkansas, and I'm from Virginia. It looks like
Yeah,
somebody is from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Samantha must
Northern
be Italian.
Ireland. That's amazing.
Yeah. And
Uh,
if Wayne's still in here, though, he's from the UK as well.
the word bed looks like a bed.
And Mona.
Oh,
Mona.
do we have to say that in an Irish accent? And where's this? Hopefully Rumble took a proud stand. Well, you're gonna be surprised what Rumble said.
Mhm.
And I think it's if I can get back to it. So are you ready? Let's
Yeah.
see. There. Now, this was the letter from that Rumble said. Today, we received an extremely disturbing letter from a committee chair in the UK Parliament. While Rumble obviously deplores sexual assault, R-word, and all serious crimes, and believes that both alleged victims and the accused are entitled to a full and serious investigation. It is vital to note that the recent allegations against Russell Brand have nothing to do with the content on Rumble's platform. Just yesterday, YouTube announced that based solely on these media accusations, it was barring Mr. Rumble from monetizing his video content. Rumble stands for a very different values. We have devoted ourselves to the vital cause of defending a free internet, meaning an internet where no one arbitrarily dictates which ideas can or cannot be heard, or which citizens may or may not may be entitled to a platform. We regard it as deeply inappropriate and dangerous that the UK Parliament would attempt to control who is allowed to speak on our platform or to earn a living from doing so. Singling out an individual and demanding his ban is even more disturbing, given the absence of any connection between the allegations and his content on Rumble. We do not agree with the behavior of many Rumble creators, but we refuse to penalize them for actions that has nothing to do with our platform. Although, and I can't read the end of this because I've got a super chat on there. So just a second. So you learn. You learn all the time, people. So I have to hide this to be able to read the rest of it. So although it may be politically and socially easier for Rumble to join the cancel culture mob, doing so would be a violation of our company's values and mission. We emphatically reject the UK Parliament's demands. Now, I think now I got to get rid of this. So that is a pretty strong letter. And let's see if anybody has commented on it. Oh, we've got New Zealand in the house as well.
Oh, New Zealand.
Yeah, it's so that's pretty shocking.
Yeah.
So yeah. Did you want to add anything to it? We don't seem to have. Yeah, so that's your answer.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting though, and yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was.
And I wonder if they can monetize those videos later, or if he will still not be monetized on that. I mean, will they go back and change their minds? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm in shock. All of this, to be honest. That's why I said, are we in an Orwellian times? You know, it's one thing I can definitely understand why we would, want to be careful of what we say. That makes sense. We have to be mindful of people's feelings, and that's what this new
and will it go further? Will it go further later on? Is this just like a tidbit of seeing how it would go now, and then it gets even worse? It goes further and further, and before you know it, I mean, you're going to wake up one day and say, "Holy mackerel, what happened?" I mean,
yeah. So so it's the whole idea is to keep children and vulnerable people safe, which we can understand.
Yeah.
But to me, a person is innocent until proven guilty. So why would they demonetize him? And I did kind of come up with a little bit of an answer. When we think of how things are, viewed, and maybe people that are sponsoring the YouTube videos that they have, and you know, maybe they're just afraid. But for someone from the
But from there,
cultural
yeah, I mean, I
media
mean,
and society,
I know
I
that,
just, I found that,
uh, especially from that, because I know, you know, you use all these platforms, and yeah, you've got a free account in most cases, so they can monitor what you're doing, but
yeah,
then how far will they take it? And then when you have the government stepping in, then who knows how far that's going to go,
yeah.
or what will they do?
Hi, is that Mark from
Yeah, it's Mark.
Corn? Hi, Mark. It was nice to see your live the other day, and yeah, Lexi, it's you won't be able to say hello.
Yeah, that's right. And usually I say that too.
I mean,
Because I do that all the time.
that
I'll probably said it tonight.
but the thing is, where it's I mean, this, what worries me is that you you're right. It's almost like the funneling effect, isn't it? It's like,
Oh yeah, well, I tell people all the time, especially over here in the United States, if you have something going on, I feel Congress and Senate are working in the background to pass things through that you don't notice. They use anything, they can do something, this happened or this happened, and before you know it, there's a bill that's gone through that nobody paid attention to, or then they'll wake up the next day saying, well, how did this get passed? Well, you weren't paying attention. You've got to really look at this. Like I know now they're running commercials here about credit cards taking reward programs away. I didn't know that. If that commercial hadn't come on, I'm busy doing other stuff. I didn't know about that, but they're running it under the radar so you don't pay attention. And next thing you know,
why would
I'm
they
waiting
do
for my
that?
credit card rewards. I don't get them.
Why are they doing that? Why would they want
I
to
don't
do
know. I have no idea why they're doing that. I have a credit card that gives me rewards back, that I go and buy fuel at certain places and I
Yeah.
get rewards back. I mean, I'm helping the economy out. I'm spending money and I'm getting a reward back. And you want to take that away from me? It doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, we have the same thing here. We get rewards when we go shopping. I mean, I go shopping at Marks and Spencer's. They've got like petrol stations, because a lot of the main stores closed down, but they do have some main stores. But
yeah. Oh, exactly right. It's all smoke and mirrors. I know one time I want, and I can't be too positive about this, don't quote me on it. There was a bill that went through. It was to help the economy out. But if you dug down into the bill, Talladega Speedway got it repaved all the way with taxpayer money. Now, how does that have to do with anything that the bill was? And I think they call it filibusters or something else, and they'll put it in there because people don't read. They'll stick it in there, and before you know it, we're reading it after it's been passed, going, how did this racetrack get a brand new, at taxpayers' expense, you know? And they throw that in there, I believe, so that bill will pass. Oh, well, hey, we need this bill to pass. Let's pad some money over here to your constituents, and then it'll pass. We need your vote, so we'll give you some of this money for your vote to make it yes. So
I think that Samantha makes a really good point here. Are we merely sheeple? Oh my goodness, that should have been the title, because I think people
it could have been.
That.
Or
They would
it could be a future title.
They would have understood that maybe more so than Orwellian.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
but you're right. It's almost like, I felt like in the last couple of years, you've got to watch what you say. You've got to be mindful of what you put in videos or what you're going to say. And it's almost like, wow. I mean, I feel like, well, if they don't want to watch it, they don't have to. It's not like, I mean, I know certain words you can't say. I know you can't threaten, you can't do that, but it's just like, how much, what are we're going to have our both hands tied behind our back when we go do videos or things like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I had an experience when I was talking about on the Sean Atwood channel. I was, you know, I don't like to say accusers. I was calling them
Hmm.
victims because that's their story, right?
Yeah.
And so for the way I speak, I tend to use
Hmm.
words that are in, in law already. So the way
Hmm.
the act, the way the law would consider them.
Hmm.
So I use the word victim. So that's why I did another video on
Hmm.
giving information for victims and the guidance for victims, because it is important. I don't, people say the accused, person or whatever, the accuser. I think it's important for people to realize that if they are a victim, they have that right to be called a victim. And then when they get to court, they're the claimant. And,
Yeah.
then the terminology will change through the legal process, but once the police start looking into them. And I had some really good comments from
Hmm.
police officers and other
Yeah.
people on, should we be believing all victims and making
Hmm.
sure, due diligence is done. So it's,
Hmm.
I just love that. We are merely sheeple. That is absolutely, you know, um, perfect. It's like,
Oh yeah. I mean, so yeah, it's interesting times. I can tell you that. And even
yeah,
then, like I said, when making videos, I got to keep the thought in the back of my head. What's hopefully not going to offend anybody or get something else.
I mean, I think the biggest thing for that I think is
Mhm.
really important is that we keep things friendly
Yeah.
and
Oh,
we don't.
absolutely. Yeah.
Karen coined that phrase. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
perfect. It is a perfect phrase. We got to get
Mhm.
mugs.
Yeah. I think.
That's your phrase though, Samantha. But so I mean, I'd like to be more opinionated on certain things, but you
Mhm.
can't do it online, right? You can't
Yeah.
make if your opinion is going to harm someone, or even just the idea of, I think if you're going to give an opinion one way, then in some ways you should have an opinion the other way, especially if
Mhm.
you're doing um, public,
Yeah.
anything public, right? So,
Mhm.
um, and I mean, I'm sure this is the hard thing for a lot of comedians, because to me,
Mhm.
a lot of comedians, they they put messages out there.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean that was art in years ago. It was like a
Mhm.
way of expressing themselves, you know, because you couldn't do it for fear of what would happen to you by the
Yeah.
powers that be, right? So are we
Mhm.
going back to that? It's just
I don't know. It is interesting. And then even with that book, I can see a lot of that stuff coming out even now. So it's almost eerie when and I don't know if we read that in school. I think we did
oh, the
study a little bit of that book.
1984.
Yeah, a little bit of that, but it's eerie now that you can go back and read it and say, "Oh gosh, this sounds like right now."
But it does, because if you
Yeah.
don't comply, so,
Hmm.
is comedy still allowed?
Yeah, I would love. That's what I would tell my jokes. I mean, I know sometimes they're a little bit corny, but it's we need laughter out here. I mean, are we so bogged down that we can't laugh a little bit and just let it roll off our back? I mean, come on. It's like, gosh, where are we in a rush to? Where are we going that we're so uptight and can't just sit back and laugh for a little bit?
Yeah, we missed
Uh,
a comment from Lexi that, yeah, the streets are
Yeah.
full of potholes.
Mhm.
That's a really good point that,
Yeah.
we're settling for our tax money is
Hmm.
going for, you know, things that, were questionable. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, this is a really controversial bill. I think, it's all over England. I don't know if anybody's in America has heard about it.
Hmm.
And you know, but yet our streets are full of, so people are getting injured when they're biking. I mean, they expect you not to use a car, but then how can you bike on a road full of potholes, you know? So
Yeah.
it's almost like get your priorities straight, isn't it? Really. It's you know, but there's, you know, hopefully this won't get as bad as people think. I do think children should be protected over the internet and vulnerable people, but how do you know who's vulnerable, right? Like, and who's going to be deciding those terms, you know? So, and I think we've seen this one. Is comedy still allowed? That's another. You're
Yeah.
really good at these one-liners.
There's one on mine, and it says from Uncle Ton there. It says, "You Americans are crazy with the military expending." Yeah. I tell you, I wish we would help things here at home instead of, you know, some of this stuff going over for military is, wow. I know we got to keep a good guard up, but sometimes I wonder if we can help Americans here at home. It's expensive. And I think, you know, a lot of that's being wasted with spending a lot.
Yeah, and those are political. And I think, you know, if we're gonna, you know, if we don't agree with what the government's doing, we make our decisions with, you know, our voting power, because we're supposed to be a democracy. But, you know, when I don't, what I don't like is that we're not a forgiving society anymore. So if you say the wrong word, if you say something wrong, then just, you know, people are just not forgiving. They want to cancel people. And I mean, when Ricky Gervais wasn't asked to do the, you know, what was it, the Golden Globes or something, and I thought he was brilliant there, and his comedy really makes people think. You know, some of it can be cringeworthy, but most of it is just so well thought out. And you know, they just have so much to offer with comedy, but it does offend. So many people are just so offended with
No, that's what. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like it's crazy. It's like, what? I mean, you can't. What are you going to bite somebody's head off if some, you know, if one, they say one word or two? I mean, can't. It's almost like, can't you sit down and be constructive and listen to each other and make a decision then, instead of just jumping off and getting offended? It's real weird sometimes. It's almost like I'll just sit back and listen and just not say anything, but.
Yeah, and so Samantha's also saying that people often forget that offense is taken, not given. Oh, you're good at this. Gosh. That's, you know, words. It's interesting because in the video I did, which I thought I would play for you, because I thought it was really interesting. So I've got to get it up on the screen. So I'm going to let you take over for a minute while I get this on the screen, Jean. And if you can read some of the hellos in the chat, and then
I was going to ask Mark, have you had a lot of rain? I'm pretty sure you did, because the storm came up probably through North Carolina, and I know we're still. I'm going to check the radar now. I think it's almost through, but this storm is kind of stalled out here, and and they said this storm was going to take a path to come right into Virginia and then curve off around Norfolk and the eastern shore, but that didn't work. That didn't work at all. It's still hovering around here, right straight up 95. Oh, you still got lots of rain. Yeah. How about the wind? You got a lot of wind? Because it had some wind gusts here, and just but mainly it's just heavy rain.
I mean, poor Joey Brooklyn had to do all his out in the rain.
Oh yeah, I saw that real quick. I had I've been watching college football all day, but I did see where he did post a video, and he was getting a lot of rain up there. I think it was not a barbecue, just a walkthrough of his neighborhood, I think.
Yeah, it was like
but I saw some rain up there, and then And I know some games have been canceled up in New York. I think the Yankees got canceled. But I didn't think this storm would stall like it is. And of course, I went
Oh,
out and made a video today, and then I got soaked. So I was trying to go do another one, but I think I'll just do a follow-up tomorrow morning. It's the beaver pond that I'm doing and how full the water is in that pond.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now, does that pond drain anywhere?
Yeah, it drains out to another area right outside, and then that goes into the storm drain. And I'll get some more. I will get some more video tomorrow where it drains out to, and I believe where it goes is into another larger lake. So it's a small pond going into a creek, and then down into another larger lake. And actually, I can walk over there and see if that's filled up with water. But it was
Yeah. Yeah, we've had really bad rains. And I was part of the emergency response team when I was working for the local government in legal. And
okay.
we had Tewksbury. You should look it up. It had something like 8 feet of rain, and it knocked the water out. It was a nightmare. We had family visiting from South Africa. Nobody could take a shower.
Oh wow.
So we had to gather rainwater because the water was knocked out from. I did that again. I'm not in the screen. So yeah. So oops. Okay.
Yeah.
So water was knocked out. I mean, it was a night. It was a nightmare. And
that's fact. That's what Samantha said. Storm drains. Yeah, I should go check them out tomorrow. And
make sure there's no leaves in them or
yeah.
And
we'll see tomorrow.
So I have found the video.
Okay.
That I think it'll be interesting because it's basically for if you're going to write a statement for court, okay? But I gave a lot of thought to it, and it talks about different perceptions. So I thought it would be. Oh, I'm getting echo. I'm going to mute your mic.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to present this screen, and we're going to have a look at a video that I did on perception, and then we can have a little chat, and then we'll. Okay, so this is there. Hi everyone, it's Karen Cole from Legal Minded Friends, and today we're going to talk about statements. So if you've ever been asked to do a statement, it might be a reply statement or a response statement or a statement for a claim, then you're going to want to hear the next part of this video. So the other day, a caller asked me why, after submitting her written statement to the court, did she have the feeling that everyone was against her and nobody understood her position. I'm going to answer this question with a few fun illustrations, and by the end, you're going to question your own eyes if something is true or false. The example we are looking at now on the video is a prime example of perception. Not everyone will see what you see. Some people will see the front of a man's face, and others will see the side of a man's face. So your first challenge in your statement is to have others see the side you are seeing. If they can see your side or point of view, they will be more understanding towards you. If your statement is drafted by way of perception, then you will have to take into account the other side's perception as well. This screen illustrates the same view, but from a different perspective. If you're writing a financial statement, you might feel your partner is controlling you with money. However, your partner might feel that they are carrying a heavy load after paying all the bills, just barely getting through to the end of the month. So they feel overwhelmed. So will the court see this as controlling behavior or being practical. If your statement is written in a way that's accusatorial, for example, you call someone an outright liar, remember the court will see the person, not the liar. And this illustration before us points out this so effectively. So don't make accusations you cannot substantiate without evidence. Some evidence might be hard to prove, and this illustration is a good visual for bullying behavior. A person that bullies will often paint a picture that shows them as all innocent, just minding their own business. You can see that the lion is laying peacefully beneath the forest trees. However, you see them as aggressive. They attack you when no one is around. They make you feel small. So a statement of this kind of evidence needs to be detailed, such as dates, times, and what action did you take to stop the behavior. This might be telling someone, such as the police or a person of authority, and you may have medical records to back up your claims. I just love this next illustration, as you can write in your statement that a fact is undisputable. You can show the court photographic evidence. In our example, we can see a box, and the top of the box is darker than the bottom. That's undisputable, surely. But what if your fact can be disproven? Then it will put in question all facts that you've put forward as questionable. So now pause this video. Okay, now I've paused the video, and can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, Jean?
Yes.
Okay. So now what I want everyone to do is put their finger over that line that you see right there. Can you see my cursor? The middle. Put your finger over the middle and see what happens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Has everybody done it?
I mean, if you do that, oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, that is, oh, wow.
So I'll give you all a chance again to do
Yeah,
it.
y'all got to do that. Hold your finger up between the middle. Oh, wow.
Okay, so you think the top is darker and the bottom is lighter, right? That's what you
Oh,
see.
yeah, that's what I can see.
But when you put your finger in the middle, has everybody done it? And then we'll continue on with it. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that is. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
You know, even if I hold a pen up to it.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. Even if you hold a pen up to it. So there. Okay. We'll go back to it. Across the middle of the screen horizontally. You will see that both boxes are exactly the same color. So do you still believe this fact that the box has two different colors to be true? Use your facts carefully when drafting a statement. This next illustration is perfect for don't play the blame game when writing your statement to the court. I once heard a judge tell a claimant who was blaming his ex-wife for no. Okay, so I'll let you guys, if you want to watch the rest of that, you can find it on my, I'll link it in the description below. But yeah, so that's the problem with words. To me, words are very similar to illustrations. Okay, it's until you see it a different way, you can look at everything one way or another, and you know, it like illusions. It is. It is. Trust no one, question everything. Oh, Samantha, you're on. We will have to get together because you are very close to me, Samantha. And yeah, it's
And that was so interesting to do that. It was really
I mean, I've seen a lot of these,
Mhm.
things, but when you see one that actually just blows your mind like
Mhm.
that, um, and laughing cough, although a lot of memory. Now, Jean, am I getting your some of your chats through because I don't want to miss anybody?
Oh, yes, you're getting some of them through. Yep.
That's great.
And thanks for all my
So
people
now,
all my subscribers that came out.
yeah, and the other thing I want people to do is, there was that. I'll just show it again because I will link it, okay, in the
Mhm.
description area because it's a really good Oxygen True Crime has done a documentary, and I believe our good friend is in it from Police Off the Cuff.
Oh, okay.
So I think what I want people to do is go because I'm restricted. So is that because
Um,
it's in our area you know, or is it because the content?
mhm.
For example, I heard like police chases can't be on TV anymore and stuff like that. So, yeah,
Yeah, and I think they've started to censor that here. I know since the pandemic, they stopped showing uh, police chases and things like that on TV, and then they might be coming back now with it, but I haven't seen it.
mm. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what I want everybody to do is go to that. I'll put the
Mhm.
link in the description area and see if there was anybody else. It doesn't matter where you are around the world. I want you to tell me if you get the same message. This content is not available in your location. So, is that the kind of world we're going to live in?
Wow.
It's, or I mean, I know when I've put out, if you join
Mhm.
Google AdWords or anything like that years ago, you put
Mhm.
what locations you want it to go in. Well, that's fair enough, isn't it? But
Mhm. Yeah.
just restricting and the MP from
Mhm.
the Parliament office writing to Rumble, I thought was
Mhm.
something everybody should hear about and our perceptions. So I might be offended by a word you use, but
Mhm.
can't we be offended? Like, why does the whole world need to change just because
Yeah. I don't know. It's
there's a
almost
difference
like
between hurting someone and offending
Mhm.
them, isn't there?
Oh, yeah,
So
absolutely.
I would have really said that, we can be sure the government wouldn't do that. But after seeing that Rumble letter,
Mhm.
I was surprised because, I mean, I don't know. I've not seen anything he's done that would
Mhm.
question should it be up on YouTube even,
Yeah.
um,
That's like what Samantha said. Television, what a strange, yeah. And I watch sports on TV, but other than that, shoot, I've got so many apps. You can watch anything on your phone. It doesn't have to be TV.
yeah. And the thing is, what I
Mhm.
love, like if you watch WFLA in Florida,
Mhm.
I mean, it's an interactive chat. So
Yeah.
it's I mean, we live in times where we've got everything at our fingertips and, it can be a great thing. So I really think this bill does have to do a lot more with offensive behavior,
Mhm.
children, making sure they're not on YouTube. I
Mhm.
know YouTube has a child one for children, and
Mhm.
content
Yeah.
creators are supposed to, people shouldn't be really swearing on YouTube,
Mhm.
um, and if you do, you should put that it's not for children. That's
Oh,
all you
yeah,
have to.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
But as soon as you start swearing and it's not educational information or
Mhm.
stuff like that, then YouTube does say as soon as you restrict it, so you can,
Mhm.
it's not for children, but if like the audience should be 18 or more, then it is not monetized. So
Mhm.
I think that could be the other reason why some of his stuff is monetized,
Yeah.
or sorry, for over 18s, you could say. But I
Mhm.
wouldn't even thought it was that. So I'm a bit surprised. It's like, um, you know, yeah, I'll let you speak. Sorry, I
Oh,
gave a
no,
lot.
no, I was just listening to that and looking at the chat, so, but yeah, I think I think all my videos are not set for children, because I think if you set it for children, nobody can leave you comments. I think that is that correct? They can't comment on your page or leave you anything like that? Or you
I
won't,
mean,
I get, or you won't be monetized on those videos. I'm not sure. I'll have to read up on
yeah,
that.
you can't be monetized for it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I set
Mhm.
all mine for no children, but
Yeah.
it's not restricted.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Uh,
right. Okay.
okay, so the children should be 13 or over.
Mhm.
Of criminal responsibility is age
Mhm.
10. So they
Okay.
certainly should be able to see any content I bring out, because it
Mhm.
might have to do with them. So I always try to keep my content, everybody's got saying stuff. I'm
Yeah.
losing it. Uh, yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
correct,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
correct. Oh, is that right, Harry? Henry saying correct. So was that about the not getting monetized? If you
Yeah, if
put
it's
restricted, it definitely won't get monetized. If it's over 18, that's
mhm.
what restricted means. So
I believe so. Yeah, I think it's if you select this is for kids, it won't give you the comments, or it won't allow you to give
no,
you the
this
comments.
isn't. This isn't
Oh, okay.
auto shut off Okay, that's interesting.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think if children, so the age of responsibility for any criminal um, offenses in this country is 10 years old. So I don't know what it is in America. I can't remember.
Hmm. Okay.
Anybody look it up while we're waiting?
Yeah, I think Henry just said no comments if it's for kids.
Yeah. I mean, some kids have their own YouTube channels.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've had some. I've seen that before, and then, but I think you still have to be over 18 to get monetized, I believe. I mean, yeah, don't quote me on that, but
Yeah, I don't think you can get monetized if you can't legally have a contract with somebody.
Mhm.
you know, so that's the thing to be mindful of.
Mhm.
No comments if it's for children. Well, that's good.
Mhm.
But I mean, I think the idea of children having their own YouTube channel as well, I don't
Mhm.
know if that's a good idea, because what if they get bullied and stuff? So this bill that's come in will just
Mhm.
make it a lot easier for, you know, to be monitored and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
send these letters.
Just just gotta
What's
keep
this?
your eyes and ears open to see how far they'll go. Just be
Oh,
on
Samantha,
alert.
I've never been to America, but
But I
been
mean,
in some states.
I've been in some states.
Oh, you're on top of it. Oh, Jean's gonna have to steal that one from you.
Yeah. I've had some subscribers, leave me some jokes, and I love them.
Oh, you're on top of it. I love it. That's a
But
good
yeah,
one.
that's pretty good.
I've never been to America, but in some states.
I've had several states.
It's really good. We're getting some. This is the thing. We're
Mhm.
getting a very nice community that's interested in law, that's interested in
Mhm.
good old fashioned chit chat. Um,
Yeah.
you know. Um, oh,
And then
you're
what is
putting
it
in
saying
the
that
chat. You're having time to chat.
yeah.
Jason, keto, and
That's
more. That's
Jason,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching some of his videos. They're really, really good as
Mhm.
well.
Yep.
So we're going to remind people that if you do have a YouTube channel, provided it's it's not going to offend anybody, you can put your link in the chat.
Yeah, I think you could do that on my channel. I think the problem's been fixed. I want to say I think
Oh
I
yeah, you were on about something.
Yeah, the keyword yellow.
Keyword.
Yeah,
Cobalt.
keyword. And if y'all want to
Right.
try that in my chat, you can. In my
That's
chat
what I
only.
did.
It's not in Karen's chat. If you want to type the
Yeah,
word
I don't know
yellow.
how to do it. Yeah, there. Corner. Where is he? There. He does it in his chat too the other day, and when I was listening to his chat, I tried it and it worked. So
Yeah.
by putting a special word in, if it's set up, then your channel will be.
Yeah, I had to tweak mine a little bit to have it come back to drop the link. But
yeah, family YouTubers are exploiting their children. I think, I mean, look at this case that we're just finding out about in America, that we had a chat about the other day, 8 passengers. And so,
and that's a little true right there with the exploiting the children. But yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah. So getting back to this Orwellian state, I think where I thought that we were there a few years ago when cancel culture started. Yes, Ruby Frank, thank you. Yeah, but when the cancel culture movement started, I was, I was thinking that's terrible because, unless it's, people should vote with or make decisions, not because everyone else is doing it. And I think that was the one thing about the Rumble letter that really impressed me the most. And if I can just show it again, just there, when they said, it's their mission to not be publicly controlled, it's freedom of speech. And I think it takes kahunas to be able to say, do you guys say that word in America anymore?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
There's a part of me that's English and a part of me that's American Canadian. And yeah, so have we got all the chats? I mean, we've had a really interactive chat today. I'm really impressed with so what are you saying? The word is yellow when you're streaming?
Yeah, and Mark just dropped his link and it does work. So
okay, excellent. So yeah,
thanks,
so don't
Mark,
forget
for trying that out.
Yeah, you can if you check out Corner Clubhouse Cobalt, Cobalt, you'll be able to see other people's channels. And I heard it on Pulp Fiction. Oh, okay. I mean, movies are great, aren't they? But I think some of the movies lately are coming out, they're very woke. And I'm just not sure if, that's.
Yeah. And what movies, I guess, if they're on strike here in America, I don't know if there's going to be any new movies coming out that they haven't already done. I guess, what is it, the Writers Guild or something still on strike? So I've seen movies recently, but they were done probably ahead of time. So
yeah. Yeah, here we've got, so Jason Keto and more, he's put his in the chat. So for people in my chat, you would just type in just Jason Keto and more. Okay. It's really good. He does stuff on a lot of reviews on food and, eating according to keto, which I love. I'm kind of on a keto diet when I'm not eating donuts. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I like that.
I didn't even tell you because I don't even like donuts, but Marks and Spencer's had some really good donuts, so I had to. It was like
Yeah,
couldn't
just Jason
control
just dropped a thing there if you want to look at that one. Jason said some viewers might find my content offensive depending on what diet they're on.
Yeah. You tell me I can't eat sweets. That's not for me. That's hilarious. So yeah. So you can do that.
Yeah.
I'll watch anything with Johnny Depp. Oh, I know, I love Johnny Depp too. And he's a bit of rough and ready too,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Just it's interesting listening to him talk in that trial. I was like, golly dang! I mean, how slow do you need to talk?
But you know what? He's got an
Yeah.
amazing on Instagram. He's a
Mhm.
painter.
Oh,
He's got
wow. Okay.
amazing artwork.
Mhm.
It's jaw dropping. So
No,
you see,
I
this is
didn't know
what
that.
I
I'll have to
mean.
look.
Like you can still like somebody
Oh, yeah.
and maybe not like the way they dress or the way they put their
Mhm.
hair or anything like that, but that doesn't mean they're a bad person or somebody you shouldn't get to know or
Mhm.
like. And we've got to, I think, take away all this, perception, isn't it? It's perception.
Mhm. Well, it is. I think so. Yeah.
Like I said, the biggest thing I get is, oh, what part of America are you from?
Mhm.
Right. So I think it's just because I'm going to have to take English less
Oh, no.
be able to speak properly.
Oh,
so
you're
that-
fine. You're fine.
So I can speak properly to you guys,
Mhm.
Canadian or British chocolate. Well, Samantha, did you know that the biggest factory in England that created chocolate, Cadbury's, is now owned by a big American company?
Oh,
And
really?
I'd have to look it up. Somebody can look it up, but is it Nestle's that they're owned by now?
I guess. I don't know. I haven't looked.
Now, if you're ever in England, they had this chocolate factory, and Cadbury's World, it was called. And
Mhm.
I used to go there all the time, only because it was very interesting. But
Yeah.
the price of your ticket, you get double the amount of chocolates.
Oh, wow. Really?
So,
There's
no.
chance to travel. Hey.
Oh, hello. People are putting a lot of smiley faces. Is that a good
Yeah.
thing? Yay. Okay. No. Did you look it up? What who owns Cadbury's?
Look at
And
wait, who owns Cadbury? Who?
Katie's Kitchen's in the house. Yay. Hello, Katie's Kitchen. And we're looking it up. Cadbury's World.
Who owns Cadbury chocolate?
Nestle's. Oh, somebody might have an answer.
Well, it says parent company, Modelo's International Kraft Foods. Huh. Headquarters is in the United Kingdom.
It says
Cadbury.
Nestle's down the road from Burlington. They
Hmm.
have a chocolate fest every year. Oh, I didn't know that. I wasn't too
Mhm.
far from Burlington when I was in Canada. Which country? Well, Cadbury's was originated in England, and then I'm sure Nestle's took them over.
Mhm.
Does it say who took if you just type in
Who took over what, Nestle's?
no, Cadbury.
Oh, Cadbury.
Cadbury.
Who made? I
They
won't say
do have a Beatrix Potter museum in down by the cathedral in Gloucester.
Mhm.
Because Gloucester, if you've ever watched Harry Potter in the Gloucester Cathedral, a lot of scenes were taken from there.
Mhm.
Oh, go ahead, Jean.
Yeah, see, I think it says right here, Kraft took over Cadbury. It was taken over by Kraft in January 2010.
Kraft owned Nestle's.
Yeah.
This is what you have when we did the bank thing. You know, there's so many different. By the time you find out who really owns your bank or manages it. Yeah. So if you ever get a chance to come to Gloucester, it is amazing because you can go to the Harry Potter, where Harry Potter was filmed in the cathedral. And then, you know, we've got Beatrix Potter, Paddington Bear, all of that, you know. And Katie's Kitchen loves cream eggs. Oh my God.
Yeah, those are good.
See, now I just went
really good.
So
there's a keto diet.
We're not going to be able to say, oh my God, anymore. My whole vocabularies are going to.
It's almost like you have keywords up above your screen or something.
Oh, and beautiful cathedral. Love the photos. Oh, really nice, Samantha. Burlington, Wisconsin. Okay, not Canada. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know what anybody thinks about all of this.
Yeah. It's making for interesting times, I can tell you.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think I already, you know, look at how things could offend people. Sometimes you can't understand something, you know. You know, it's going to be really difficult to charge someone if they didn't knowingly know what they were doing was wrong. And I think that's, you know, what we have to do.
Yeah.
Did I miss something? Oh, Katie, you'll have to go back. There's always a hot mess on here. But no, as usual, I was talking about one thing and then decided to talk about chocolate.
Oh, it's all right. That's like what Samantha said. I wear my tin hat foil with pride. I gotta make a tin foil hat up. That'd be pretty good to come on with that. You know, so because the laptops, the phones, everything else, they're listening to you anyways. You could say something and go open up your phone and open up Facebook, and there you got an ad right there about what you were talking about. So I knew they've been listening for years. So
yeah, they should be responsible for my credit card debt because they're the ones. I look up something and then all of a sudden I get 10 items that I should be buying. It's their fault.
Katie's Kitchen says, I think chocolate is a better subject than anything.
Exactly. That's why we're doing the lives, because it's about building the community, learning a little bit about the law, about how we should think about things. You know, it's we're getting
and everybody in my chat, you need to check out Karen's page, Legal Minded. You need to check her out too.
Hi, cruising is fun anytime. I can certainly agree with that. Yeah, so if you're joining us real late, because that's always the way it is. We seem to get loads of people near the end of something.
Yeah.
So we kind of decided to keep it kind of based on the information at the front part of the video.
Yeah.
So if the replay viewer, they can at least get that part of the information if they didn't participate in the chat. So
Henry says chocolate comes wrapped in tinfoil. So does chewing gum too, I think, doesn't it?
So what is the idea? Did I miss something about the tinfoil?
Oh, that's the tinfoil, to keep you put it on your head to keep the aliens and everything else from knowing what you're thinking.
Oh.
That's like almost like what they call it. Gosh, somebody in the chat can let me know. It's a Faraday box. I think it's something that you can buy that you can put your things into that nobody can get a signal into or a signal out. So it protects your devices. Almost like when I had that Ridge wallet, that protects somebody from doing an RFID scan and picking up your credit cards. But yeah, that's the Faraday cage. Yep, that's it. Yep.
Now, Henry, the perfect combination.
Yeah.
What did I miss, Henry's? Did I miss a chat?
No, he said about chocolates wrapped in tinfoil too. And that's it. Like Katie's right about that. That's the old school TVs.
Do you remember in the olden days? That's what we had to do. We had to put our antennas out the window to get.
Yeah, that and banging on it a little bit when you couldn't get. Or you'd sit there and hold it, hand up and hold it and say, all right, wait a minute, right there, don't move.
So one thing we did ask in the chat, I didn't see anybody answer, so I'll ask it again. Has anybody at work been asked to go on a course about the way you should speak and what words you can use and what words you can't use? Put a 1 in the chat. Gene said he had, you would get alerts if certain words were in emails.
Yeah, certain words, if I use certain words that they thought was inappropriate, they would return the email and say, you need to go through this email and see what words. And I don't know if it highlighted them or not, but it would say the way this is worded is blah, blah, blah. And you'd have to redo it and send it back out.
Oh.
And then, then like what we were talking about earlier, and I think, Karen, you said the same thing too. We have to take classes about what you can and can't say sometimes. And those, you had to take those, at least for me, I had to do them every year. Now I can't remember what it was, but it's classes to help you, I guess, certain words you can and can't use here.
So I'm a company owner. I don't allow that nonsense. Well done, Henry. Now he's got, I must have my brain on top. Wow. Look at his name. Sorry. Henry. Is that not reminding you of chocolate?
Yeah. I mean,
old Henry Bar.
Yeah. And then
I'm trying to remember what an old Henry Bar is called here in UK.
Oh gosh, I know they still sell them here.
They still sell them. They're basically like a round gooey thing with some cookie stuff and then nuts and then chocolate.
Yeah.
So,
and Katie's Kitchen said plenum cable is shielded. Yeah, that's that goes with network cabling.
Okay, wait. I think I found it. Oh no. You're faster than me on this chat. I'm terrible on the chat. I don't know if I really get offended by too much. I get offended if it's stuff on TV that I think is like if I'm watching a movie and there's no need for, let's say, an act being performed. I don't think to me, in my view, I get really that. I think there's no need for it. And why should they be making actors do that sort of thing? I've heard that some of it is dubbed together, but so that kind of thing offends me. But then guess what? You can turn it off.
Yeah.
Right? You can turn it off. And that's why I think if something offends you, just go somewhere else, right? Like, you don't have to. Like, I mean, if we're, I mean, both of us are not monetized yet, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm far from it.
We're open to the general public. But once you get, let's say you get loads of viewers and you put it on that, you have to be a member only to watch. Is that going to make it different?
Yeah, I've seen some pages set up that they'll have member only videos, and it depends on, I've seen, like I said, some channels do that. They'll have different tiers of memberships, and then they'll say, if you're a member, regardless of the tier, I have member only videos. So they'll do that. In fact, I subscribe to a page that does that says, for members only, they'll put out a video once a month or every other month, and then you can see that. But if you're not a member, you can't. But some people do that. They'll have different monetization levels. And even at the higher levels, even if you were a member of a lower tier, you still can't see that. You have to be a member of that tier. So it's just interesting.
Yeah, but I heard a YouTuber got a lot of criticism because they had put some questionable stuff that was
Mhm.
evidenced in court behind a paywall.
Yeah.
And so I think
Oh, yeah.
definitely that stuff should, if it's something that people can access,
Mhm.
that's fine. I'm not too sure how charging for it when you can
Mhm.
publicly get it, but I suppose if you're putting information all in one place, then you've done
Mhm.
some work, you could say. So you want to charge for it. That's something different. But so I think this online bill will be good.
Mhm.
But I do think it's a slippery slope.
Oh,
And
it is. It is. And like I said, my thing too, keep watching it because it's only, I don't know, for some reason here, it's like they'll do something and then they'll keep going higher and higher and seeing how much they could take away. At least in my opinion, they want to see how they can.
Samantha, honestly, you're going to have to contact me because I could use someone to help me. All the cases I've looked at. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
Gannon case, and I did a video on that. She was a stepmom murderer,
Mhm.
and yeah, awful situation. Um, yeah, so I don't think it's just about words.
Mhm.
I think the words are a slippery slope, isn't it? It's like,
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think so. I mean, at least from what I've seen with watching other live streams and just watching other people's videos and what I've listened to, yeah, it's because I've been places where people don't say this or they don't say that because of the keywords and things like that. So I'm like, wow, really, you really have to watch yourself, I guess, that close. So
and I've
yeah.
put a lot of keywords in mine too that
Hmm.
I don't want people using. So I don't know what this means, Samantha. Spaghetti westerns, spaghetti westerns. I don't know. Spaghetti. Okay,
Yes.
now we've done dessert. Now we need to
Yeah,
talk
really.
about food. That's
Well,
all
that's
we're gonna do.
yeah, it's almost like what I used to do: eat my dessert first and then eat the meal. I've done that
Yeah.
before. What I order dessert and then I order the meal. So,
I always think that there's only enough room for vegetables, and then the rest has got
mhm,
to be, either sweets or meat or something. But
mhm.
now as an adult, I love vegetables. But I mean that's interesting, isn't it? Because what are we going to be able to talk about
Yeah,
if I mean, what was that song? Probably Samantha knows
mhm,
that song. That was it. Um, Baby, it's cold outside.
mhm.
That one.
Oh
What's
yeah,
that
yep,
one?
yep.
And they had to change the words, or
Oh
they had
yeah.
to because they thought that was like inviting somebody in was
Mhm.
SA or potential.
Well, it
So
could be like, that brings up a good thing because it's like words, do they change over time and the
it
meaning?
always comes back to food.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
only thing
Jason, it
the only thing we're
it almost
safe with.
does.
This is just proving it. We're only safe to talk about food.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, that's Samantha says, "Made in Italy, cheap actors dubbed speech." That reminds me of the Godzilla movies. The old Godzilla movies where they would be talking, they would talk like this, and then they keep talking after the after that. So,
you know what? I can see a future where there'll be like, let's say, how Switzerland is. They say Switzerland's in the middle,
mhm.
right? There'll be a country where you can go to where it's like whatever you want happens. I mean, didn't Australia leave England to start their own?
Yeah.
So we'll have to all go to Australia or somewhere, and we'll
Mhm.
watch all our own old movies because they're not allowed, like the Carry On films. And I mean, I used to watch Benny Hill in the day. I thought it was hilarious only because now I probably would cringe, but back then
Mhm.
I used to think it was hilarious that
Mhm.
this disgusting guy would have all these young chickapoos after him. But yeah, what kind of a message does that send? I thought it just
Mhm.
sent a message, wishful thinking or something.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. And it's
you know,
interesting now that Katie mentioned food reminds me of like watching football late at night, and they run those commercials on purpose at a specific time. It'll be a McDonald's commercial coming on, and it's like, I got to go to McDonald's. I got to get in my car and go. They know exactly when to do that.
Oh, I know. Everything closes so early in England. We have to.
Oh, not here. You can go 2, 3 in the morning and get something. I can go down to McDonald's late at night, at midnight or 2, and still get food.
Yeah, we can go to, I think, trucks in the middle of the street got them, but you wouldn't go into the town really late by yourself. We've got somebody, file 13. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. How do gingers high five friends? Clap over their head.
They clap.
See, now this is something I don't get it. So you see, this is perception. What does that mean? Ginger's good. Did you get it?
Yeah. It's almost like a blonde, maybe not a blonde joke, but
oh, we were going to talk about that. Nowadays, you can't really say blonde jokes, can you? I mean, I'm being offended by people saying that. What's that? Karens? They're calling them Karens. People that complain all the time. But the fact that I complain about it, does that make me a Karen?
No, no.
Get it?
Yeah, there's some good videos over there. Yeah, they have to high five themselves. Yeah, that's right. I just that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the dad jokes are amazing. They're just
yeah. Thank you.
Australia is beautiful. I have been to Perth and Adelaide. Wow. Oh, where the Beaumont babies disappeared. Oh, shame. Oh, wow. Yeah. I've never been to Australia, but I know some people there. Gingers are taking over the world. My second husband was a ginger. So, yeah, definitely.
It's almost like when they say, I want to speak to your supervisor. It's like, oh boy.
I love
I think
ginger.
Katie's Kitchen said, yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
I love ginger hair. My sister's name is Karen, and she's really tired of all the Karen stereotypes. I know. I high five with your sister, Katie. Yeah. I mean, what about Debbie Downers, or what about what are some of the words like, in the olden days, right? That
yeah, but the Debbie Downer,
some songs are the greatest. This is why we can't take art and music and laughter, comedy. We can't make it so that it doesn't offend anybody. I think that's called creativity. And
oh, absolutely, yeah. You just gotta let it.
I mean, it's one thing in the government, or if you have a business, like our friend said in the chat, you don't put up with it. But we're talking about creative people. Yeah, I do think it's a bit Orwellian.
At least express their creativity, things like that.
Yeah. Express it. I mean, I don't know if anybody's watched Roseanne Barr lately, but she's got some amazing guests on, and they talk about so much philosophical stuff that if you're really into this kind of, are we going down the Orwellian? I'm saying it so many times now, I can't say it, but
yeah, that's almost like a tongue Orwellian. I gotta say that. I gotta say it slow. Orwellian.
I've said it so many times, but they go down that road deeper than I have. So, from a philosophical point of view, which I think is really interesting, and she's got a lot of comedians on there, and they talk about what is actually happening with stifling our words and stuff like that.
And, I thought about this, Henry, just a few minutes ago, what he just said. If you can look at that one next. That we have.
Henry. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
poetic justice. We got Debbie Downers. Yeah. Well, I don't even know if I can say the next word, John Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. There's
But yeah,
okay. One you wanted?
yeah, it's like we moved, and I did think about that, Henry. You know, whatever, we moved away from it. Like sticks and stones can break my bones. Yeah, words will never hurt me. Yeah, exactly. Words can't. I mean, they're not gonna. You know, it's we have moved away from them.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
But now it's almost the opposite. Well, not the opposite. It's now they're even, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sticks and stones will break your bones.
Mm-hmm.
But names will never hurt you. That's what we used to say. But, you know, words will never hurt you. But words are hurting people. And that's sad, I think. I think it's sad. I think it's different with little children, you know, as they're growing up, and we need to, you know, do you remember in the day where you know, we had
Oh yeah, well
children were what was it supposed to be seen and not heard, but and I don't mean in a bad way. I just mean if you had your friends over, you would say to your children, you know, go play in your bedroom, or you know, you wouldn't have all adult conversations in front of your children.
No, absolutely not.
That's what I always thought that saying meant.
I always say little ears are listening.
Yeah. Oh, there's a good saying too. Little ears are listening.
Little ears. That's what I always used to say with my children. We're at that young age, because they listen, and you may not think they are, but they are listening. They do. They keep their radars open, and I always just say that, little ears.
Yeah. And I do think Katie's Kitchen, all the power
washer, yeah. Oh gosh, that brings up something, Katie. That I was fighting. Let me tell you real quick. That brings up something about that, Katie. You're right about the attachments. I spent almost a couple of hours.
I'll put it back. Wait.
Oh yeah, I spent a couple of hours fighting my power washer. I took it back. I took the hose off, took the nozzle, took it back to Sears, walked up, and keep in mind, I'm all wet, I'm soaked, I'm dirty. And I said, how do I get the bleach to come out? And they took one look at it and they flipped it over and said, oh, this button right here. And they pressed it. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this. I'm done. I mean, all the guys are sitting there laughing because it was a simple thing.
But if you didn't know, I mean,
I didn't know. Yeah, you're right. But it was funny.
I had to buy a power washer as well. And I made a little video out of it. So now I think in terms of everything I do, oh, is there a video in that? Because it's, I couldn't believe, you know, that feeling you get when you've cleaned all your patio stones, and well, then you end up cleaning everything, right? Your car.
Yeah.
I mean, I lost some paint on my door of the house because I went crazy, right? So, you know, but I actually had to go to YouTube, because in the olden days you'd call someone, and I'm sure I tried calling my dad, but he was out or something. So I had to look it up on YouTube. How do I hook up to the faucet? Like, how do I hook the power pressure? Like, how do I? The pictures were just, I couldn't understand the pictures.
Yeah. Oh, there's everything on YouTube now. That's what I go out and anything you can change your cabin air filter for your car. You can do all that. That's all out there on YouTube now.
Oh, what was it called? I remember the card. Cards. Do people play cards anymore? I love playing cards.
I do. Double solitaire. I do that.
Be careful, little ears, what you hear. Yeah, my parents used to have card night, and when I got married, we would go out to play cards. Like now it just, I don't know. It's like, and we've got
I used to play pinochle, play double solitaire, now even triple solitaire. And it's nice quiet time. I mean, I just turn everything off and do that.
Yeah, I've got some games on my phone as well, and it's a cool one. It's almost like you have got to move your phone, and a little ball goes through all these. It's like a maze.
Yeah.
You've got to figure Stock the Explorer. Hello, how are you doing?
And Jerry just came in.
Oh, we're getting so many new people in.
52 card, yeah, 52 pickup. I remember that.
Oh my God. What about strip poker?
Well, yeah.
I mean,
That reminds
honestly,
me of the Twister days. That's it. You don't bring up that when it was with the Twister game, you know.
we played with a guy who became a famous NHL player, and I wouldn't tell our stories. People just gotta have better sense of humor. It's like we can't lose our sense of humor.
No, we can't. Spend the bottle. I knew that.
Pardon? No, I can't stop laughing.
Katie, that's what I remember.
Where
that.
are
Yeah.
you?
Oh, it's a little further down. Yeah, the 52 card pickup from Josh. Yeah,
52 card pickup.
And Jim Rummy, that's a good game too.
Rummy, yes.
Oh gosh, Katie.
And what about crib? Does
Yeah.
anybody play crib anymore? I just taught one of my American friends here. I have a friend from California, and I taught him how to play cribbage. Yeah, so I used to have Friday night games at our house. And we'd play that game. What was it called? Like Call a Friend? What was it called? That one?
I'm trying to think.
Oh, I know who will know. Samantha will know. It's a British game. You had to guess the answer.
Ace of Spades. Okay, I remember that. I used to play a lot of that.
In a minute. Truth or Dare. Yeah, we probably wouldn't be able to play that anymore.
That goes back to the days back in college and almost even after college. That's a fun game to play.
Yeah.
Those are good icebreakers, maybe on a first date or something.
Yeah, but can you imagine we had to play Truth or Dare and then something happened? Yeah, I mean, nowadays I would just stay out of all that, anything risque until you get to know somebody.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ace of Spades is known as the F card.
Yeah.
The hierarchy against the gambling random was picked, which I can't read these. Random card was picked.
I used to play Ace of Spades.
Wow, counterfeit makers were.
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea. Samantha, did you figure out that game that we used to play? And it's on the TV, and it was with somebody, and you had the option to call a friend. Anyway, I bought that game, and we played. We would have Friday night game night at my house. I just loved it. Who knows if, Yeah. I mean, Rummy, hello. Oh, we've got a new Butler family farm. Hello, welcome.
I'm going to I'm gonna drop your link in my chat.
Hopscotch. Oh boy. Katie's Kitchen, we had a game night when I was growing up. It lasted until we started playing full contact.
Game night. We did game nights too. That's pretty interesting.
Night.
We used to play spades and all that other stuff. I think what was another game? Trivial Pursuit. That used to go till the wee hours of the night. But we would have spade competitions on different card tables.
Yeah, I've got loads of games. My daughter just took a whole bunch of games. And Scrabble, remember? Hours and hours and hours of arguing if you could write one word down in Scrabble. So we've got actually a Scrabble dictionary. Ouija, yeah. Oh, wait, I'm not catching up here. Somebody said, hi, Josher. I didn't see Josher in the chat. I always miss him if he's in the chat. I'm so sorry, because I will say hi. And we've got War until I was 10. War, game cards, spades in college. Yeah. Ouija board. Yeah, you probably won't be able to have that anymore. Okay, I'm being silly.
No, it's all right.
Gene, I'm one way from 1930.
Yeah, that's Gary. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and again, everybody that's in my chat, Yellow Shirt Dad, if you type in yellow, you can drop your link. That's only in my chat. So yeah, if y'all want to contact each other, yeah, feel free, mingle, and then but yeah, type in yellow and it will drop your link.
And there is kind of benefits to having that 1,000 subscribers, because today I wanted to, like when I did my little video, I wanted to link it to the live, because as I said from the beginning of our lives, I want them to be interactive and to have a community to chat with. And that's what, real life is like. We don't we talk like.
And it's good we're talking about games, because I have so many games that I bought that are good for a lot, for, oh gosh, I'll probably call them drinking games. You get a bunch of group of people together, you can sit down there and play and have a good time. And yeah, I wanted to try to bring those back, because it's great just to turn off that TV and get off your phone and just play some games with each other.
Charades. I love charades. We used to have charades at one of my uncle's house. All the cousins and everybody would get together, and the parents would play charades, and we would love watching them. It was so much fun to watch our parents play games.
Oh yeah, especially
what about Twister? I bet you can't play Twister anymore. Twister,
yeah, no, I know. Can you believe that?
Twister will be banned.
Oh no, shoot. That's because I used to watch my parents play Trivial Pursuit, and it would get heated. I mean, I'm talking heated games coming in there, and then they would bar everybody from coming in. It got so hot sometimes.
Well, that's it, isn't it? And didn't we think at one point we were going to use Saturday nights as game night and try to do something like that? And you said you found something online that might be easy for people to play, because you see, my day job is working in the law and helping people. And it's pretty awful when you get a call and it's like, people need your help straight away.
Yeah.
And it's hard to shut down from that. And so
that's a whole nother thing. I used to work, and I used to work a help desk, and I would take calls. I was first on shift, and there would be people that were complaining that they'd been on since 4 or 5 in the morning and waiting for me to get to work. And I'm like, but we don't open till 7. So why even waste time 2 hours ahead of time when help can't be done? Or they would call on the weekends, and that call would go over to whoever's on call. And it's like, some of this stuff can wait till next week. It doesn't have to be done right now, but
yeah. Scrabble. I got a Scrabble dictionary.
Yeah.
So we would have no more arguments. And what about Monopoly taking over the world? That'll probably be banned too, because that's not fair. So we'll have to give. But I don't know about you guys, but when we played Monopoly or games, or our family did a lot of golfing, and so in golfing you get like a handicap, so that you're not so far behind anybody else. So we take care of the vulnerable people when we play games, right? You have to do that. You think of that. So I don't think anything is new. In some ways, maybe it's trying to go back to something we used to have. Maybe that's a good way to look at all this instead of Orwellian. Yeah. Say, look, if we were all happier back in the old days when things weren't so horrible, then maybe we should get back to it. So maybe not look at it as if it's something negative, right?
Yeah.
Love Scrabble. Oh, I love Scrabble. Did you guys ever have that game where you shake it up? Bogles? Is it Bogles?
I think so. I have to. I
shake it
think
up.
So.
All the words go. The letters go different, and you have to make words out of them. Bogles.
Yeah.
Oh, Bogles. Yeah. I have a wooden Scrabble board, and they're hard to find. The original kind of the wooden.
Oh, the wooden ones. Yeah, yeah,
If you play Scrabble with like plastic, it doesn't feel the same. I'm sorry.
yeah.
My words
That-
don't as easily with plastic words.
you know, when the kids used to get out of hand, and I'm talking like, like back in high school, I'll go in there and get chutes and ladders and Candyland and say, all right, we're going to go ahead and play all this. They would look at me like I'm crazy.
Hi from across the pond. Josh,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you missed, we've got a little scroller down there and it says, where
Mhm.
are you from? So even though this is, again, a perception, I'm in England, but I sound like I'm not. So
Mhm.
are you in England as well, or are you across the other way of the pond? I don't know. Can let us know if you want. Don't let us know if you don't want.
Mhm.
Can't you just Google a word?
Yeah, I guess you can. Yeah.
Probably can. Do you know what the problem is? When I start Googling,
Mhm.
I go down rabbit holes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I was looking up. Oh yes, today when we were talking about or yesterday when we talked about what should we call this stream,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I kind of thought of a different word, and then I thought, oh well, maybe that might offend some people,
Mhm.
and then I thought, well, a buzzword might be Orwellian, you know.
Mhm.
And so I wanted to look it up to
Mhm.
make sure we could use it in it, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Irony. We were going to talk about
Oh,
irony.
that's right. Irony. Yeah, that's yeah.
And irony, you looked up the meaning because it's like, give the example you gave me, because that's perfect example about the weather.
I'm trying
Remember?
to think of what we did.
Yeah. So irony, I'll jog
Oh
your
yeah,
memory.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. The weather. It would be like if it would be cold and rainy, and then you would say, "Oh, well, it's a beautiful day."
Yeah.
You know.
So that's
You
irony.
know, yeah.
Irony is supposed to it's just supposed to make, what is it? To make things easier to talk about, I guess.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, but it just everything seems to be crazy.
Yeah.
I'll buy a Ouija doormat when I'm finally able to buy a house. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, but one of my favorite movies is, Jimmy Stewart, right?
Mhm.
Christmas, what's it called? I can't remember now. Um, yeah, we'll think about that. This is the way my
Yeah.
brain works sometimes. But so, and the one girl in it says,
Mhm.
Jimmy Stewart needs all this money
Mhm.
because his uncle lost all the money from the bank, and this one lady brings a whole big bag of money, and she says,
Mhm.
I've been saving this for the day I get married and I ever need a divorce.
Oh gosh.
The day I get married and if I ever need a divorce. So, yeah. Yellow. Oh yeah, that's the
Yeah.
Nightbot.
Sorry, I got people chatting with me in the chat right there.
We seem to get Jewel in the kitchen.
Mhm. Yes.
Now, at this rate, they'll be a #1 bookseller. I think it will be, won't it? You're talking about the 1984.
Mhm.
I don't know, or she could be talking about something else.
Could be.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, Jewel saying hi, welcome. And for the replay viewers, they don't have to go on and on like we're going on and on, right?
Mhm. Oh
They
no,
can
this is great. This is great.
they can get the information from the beginning.
Mhm.
Now, Samantha's on fire tonight. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And Parcheesi, is that what that? Oh, Parcheesi. What was Parcheesi? I can't remember. Parcheesi. Oh, that's so long ago. I can't remember. Parcheesi board. It was a board. I remember checkers and.
Yeah. Jewel in the kitchen. The co-host is Karen from Legal Minded Friends, and you might be able to scroll up. You might be able to scroll up in the chat. I dropped her link earlier, not too much earlier.
So what we've done is we've talked about, are we in Orwellian times? Because George Orwell wrote this book in 1980. It was called 1984. And he talked about a future where the government will control your words, what you say, what you write. There'll be cancel culture, all this kind of stuff. And I thought, well, kind of, aren't we already in Orwellian times? But now with this new bill, there's a lot, it's got a lot of controversy, because people are thinking, well, what does that mean? Are they going to try to, curtail what we say and do? We had all the thing with Russell Brand going on, being accused on national television by the media. Now we've got Parliament writing to Rumble asking why are they basically still paying him because YouTube stopped his monetization. And I was saying, well, surely somebody is innocent until proven guilty. So and this is the way we're going. We just have this society where it's like mob mentality, and that's exactly what Rumble did. They wrote back and said, get stuffed, basically. We're not going to dictate what happens on our platform as long as it's legal. Obviously. We're not going to put something illegal. I mean, we have hate speech, we have all kinds of stuff. Okay, Henry, my niece brings over a box to escape. Oh,
yeah,
that's a fun.
And that's just good. That's just good family time too.
It is.
That's really good family time, and
yeah, we have at Christmas time we always play games. We always, and I just love playing games, And it was really funny because when I was in Holland, we were playing Monopoly on a Dutch board.
Oh, okay.
But we could still see what everything was because obviously they similar visuals, didn't they? So that was good fun. But it was, and it's interesting because games make you learn about things, don't they? They help you to learn about things. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you're playing a game, with your family, it's gonna be communication. You're gonna talk.
Yeah, exactly. You can sit there and actually have to talk to somebody, not text it out. So
I remember putting.
In fact, I've seen different monopolies that you can buy, like for like towns that you live in or cities, and it'll be this is. I've seen that with Monopoly. Yeah, not just a regular old boardwalk and all this. You can play town or city. Yeah, I've seen those.
I have seen those, and I'd like to get one. And did you guys ever have that game, the Game of Life?
Yeah.
That was really fun. I mean, I think the problem with the internet is it's taken away a lot of our traditional things we used to do as snakes and ladders has become,
yeah, it is. Yeah,
Samantha, you are hot tonight. I don't know. It's like she's got the best one-liners. But yeah, so is it so bad that we have more control over the internet so that children are safe and vulnerable
Mhm.
people. Personally, I think it's a good thing within reason,
Mhm.
and just make it so that people have to pay for your channel if it's going to
Yeah.
be swearing and talking down about women. I don't want that kind of
Yeah.
thing. I don't want to talk down about men, and I don't
No.
want,
Uh-uh.
I just think so.
And
Definitely.
like what Katie's Kitchen here said, my chat is that
Yeah.
you could be a winner at the game of life. Absolutely.
Where did you see that? Sorry.
Oh, it's further down. You may have to refresh your page, Karen. You might have to
Oh,
refresh that.
am I really behind? Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
so
I refresh my page every once in a while, or the chat will get ahead of the comments, I think.
Oh, I'm really far behind. I'm so sorry, chat. This
It's all right. No, it's okay.
never leave me in control of the controls. Now we
It's a
won't
lot
use.
to do, a lot to do here, a lot to do here. We're
There
doing
is
good.
so much to do. That's why I need help.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna flip through them, and if there's one, the Guess Who game. Oh, different
Mhm.
styles. I haven't seen you before. Hello, hello. The Guess Who game. I don't know that game. Do you know that game? Or
No.
we'll have to get Samantha. She knows everything. Oh, I miss playing games. Now, you see, that's how we got talking about chocolate, is because we started with food, and then now we're games, and I've never been troubled by details, to my peril. Me too. Boggle. Yes, Boggle. I have Boggle. And it has a whole bunch of letters, and you shake it up, and then you have to make words out of the letters, and you've got a timer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so getting back to our point, yes, we are being told what words we can and
I think
can't.
so. I think so.
Online. It's in public. It's because a lot of people chat in chat boxes. That's where the issue is. If we were all sitting around our kitchen table or in our living rooms and we were playing a game, something was said, we'd all look at the other person and go, "Ooh, few too many drinks for you. You got to have coffee." But
Yeah.
we're talking about in the public forum, aren't we? We're talking about online safety.
Online, and yeah, you have to watch at least a little bit what you do and put out there.
Yeah, that seems fair enough, doesn't it?
Mhm.
It's like, but I do question why Parliament vote to rumble.
Yeah.
I do question that. Latin. Okay, wait a minute. Latin. I think I have CDO. It's a kind of like OCD, except in
That's a good one.
7. Oh my God, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to leave that up there for a bit. That people can write that down. That's perfect. That's okay. Now he said I have to. I'm really far behind on the chat. Okay, let me catch up. Jean, I will let you talk, and I will catch up with the chat, and then we could probably say our goodbyes because we're over 2 hours now.
2 hours. Yeah, that's good. I'm trying to think of other games. I'm trying to think of other games that I did. Mainly when I was in college, it was mainly card games like Ace, Spades, Rummy, Pinochle, a couple other ones. And then we would bet on those. We would bet on some of those games, and we would have tournaments going way long into the night, sometimes all the way through to the morning. Then you had games come out like Xbox, and it turned to that. So you got away from the card games, and then we turned to gaming online, and we would have, gosh, I would go with an Xbox or 2 or 3 Xboxes, network them together, get full screen TVs and projectors, and play games all night until the morning.
Well, before I got like really into the YouTube community, I would play games online with other people.
Mhm.
You know, like, and I don't know if you're used to if you've ever played backgammon.
Yes.
So
Uh-huh.
I was in a group and we all played. Well, you pick your partners
Yeah.
and we played backgammon, and you could chat with the other person. And I
Mhm.
met a girl from California. So when I
Mhm.
went to see another friend of mine in California, we met up and got our nails done. We had a real girly day, and it was wonderful. In fact,
Mhm.
she made a necklace for me. It was amazing. So
Mhm.
I made like a friend out of it, you know, like,
Mhm. Oh,
wow.
yeah.
And she's an amazing person. And then I
Mhm.
got kind of into YouTubey things, and you know,
Mhm.
it's great because with the chat you can chat back and forth.
Yeah.
But I do like somewhere where you can, like you say, talk to people. And
Mhm. Yeah. And then Henry here says about Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, we did that. And actually, I think that's actually made a comeback these last few years. I heard a lot of younger college kids, I think in their 30s or 20s, and they would be playing Dungeons and Dragons and Donkey Kong. Samantha says Donkey Kong. Yeah, those were the
I
big
don't know
video
that game.
games.
Emily is new in the house. I've
Mhm.
not seen you. Hi, Yellow Shirt Dad. Love and blessings from the UK, England. Dropped you a like, sir. Excellent. I'm in the UK, even though I don't sound it right.
Mhm.
Perception. It's like, so come on over and join my channel as well. I'm trying to get to 1,000, Emily, and we need more UK people. And Samantha, you're missing our Samantha,
Mhm.
England. She's also from England.
Mhm.
Marriage is an anagram, a grim area. Oh my God. You better be taking notes, Jean. She's got lots of
Yeah,
good, she's got lots of good jokes.
that's just
What's your
now they
host
play
name?
it online.
Karen. My name is Karen Cole.
Yeah, I got her the page, so she knows your channel now.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, in
Wow.
fact, I think it's stopped raining now. I think the tropical storm, since we've been talking, has gone
Well,
on out of the area.
Butler family said they had to get going because it was getting bad.
Yeah.
Are you sure your storm has stopped? Maybe the house is blown away around you and you don't know. They're
Oh,
getting,
I don't
if
know.
anybody hasn't caught
Well,
the first part of the chat, Gene's getting a hurricane. So we're keeping him safe.
yeah, it's almost, it might be done. It might be moving out of the area because I don't hear any rain out. I'm looking at the weather at the radar, and I don't think it might be lightly raining soon. Yeah, we had a tropical storm Ophelia come up and form, and now it went through. It spent the whole day here in Virginia, now moving up north.
Yeah, I don't know, Henry, if Orwell has been rewritten to be non-offensive. That would be interesting. So I think we better start saying our goodbyes,
Okay.
and because it's getting late here in the UK. And
Oh yeah, that's right. It's 10, almost 10:30 here in the United States.
oh, it's almost 3:30. Oh my goodness. Doesn't matter. I stay up till 3 or 4 and then I go to bed and get back up.
Yeah,
3
yeah.
three
Thank
to
you,
4
everyone,
hours
for tuning
later.
out.
Okay, we are all sheeple to the top 1%. I think I think we are sheeple is a really good one. We have to top 1%. And now you said I had to refresh my page in my.
Yeah, I do that on my page because I've got the chat running in another tab, and if I refresh it, it catches up.
My eyes are watching. I'm having too much fun to get offline now.
I know that's what Katie said.
I'm so nervous when I go on to talk about the legal stuff, and then when I start watching the chat, I'm like,
this has been great. I love this. This has
so
been
much
great.
fun.
I'm relaxed now.
Yeah, I'm allowed my
Yeah.
inner nerd, and I think this another one, is I
Mhm.
identify with, right? So,
Yeah.
That's another one. We can all identify with something. Maybe that's what we should do. Just identify with
At least not take anything so
Ross
seriously.
Belfast. Yes, we had the Belfast edition. Ooh, Samantha. That will be a book probably.
Mhm.
If somebody's got the original and the one that
Yeah.
wasn't the Bible rewritten as well?
Oh, I'm sure over the years, at least, well, just different. What do you got? They got different versions of it, but yeah.
Ricky Gervais does a really good one on Netflix.
Mhm.
Oh, look at this. We've got, I don't know if I'm so far behind. Oh, wait, it does tell me the time. It does tell me the time of the chats. And
Mhm.
I'm looking at the chats and I am on time. So we've got KK's travels and educational vlogs. Hello, welcome. Uh-oh. Downfall is personification of my life. And we've got hello, dearie. It's a drive by fruiting. Oh, drive by fruiting. I have seen Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
I swear this is probably going to be embarrassing, but I've probably seen it 50 times. Okay. Is this a drive by fruity? Oh my God, I love.
I haven't seen it in a while. I don't think they've even had it on here in a while, but.
Well, I've got them in everything. I've got them in
Okay.
THS. No. As soon as that, it's just like it's if you work in family law,
Mhm.
that movie is perfect. Mrs. Doubtfire is perfect.
Mhm.
And he was the perfect one, really, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He died. Okay, dungeon. Okay, we've got. I keep pushing them, but nothing happens. And
Yeah, it does. Time flies.
time flies when you're having fun. I feel like we're having a Saturday night party. Donkey Kong. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I see that chat came in at 3:20, and my watch says it's 3:23. I'm there, you guys. Vectrix, never heard of it, Samantha?
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
Is that an online game? Yeah, maybe these online games are going to have to. That could the Online Safety Act could have a lot to do with the online gaming as well, because there's a lot of violence in those games. Anyone else play 4D chess? Asking for a friend. Samantha, you are on fire. It's online now. My nieces all play Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. I don't really have a lot of knowledge of these online games, but I have in my court cases, I have had parents. One parent will not agree with, let's say, a game that an online game that another parent bought. So it is something that you have to be mindful of if you're going to buy stuff, because kids, one parent may not like them to have it. So, and we're almost caught up here. Great chat. Thank you both.
Yeah,
thank you. Really so excited to see Henry in the chat as well, and Katie's Kitchen. I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch one of your recipes you're cooking. No, I'm talking to you guys and listening to someone.
Yeah, I think as I mentioned, we were going to wrap it up. I guess she said no. Well, there's going to be many more. We could do that.
I love cooking as well,
Mhm.
and making things and learning how to do things. And I do think it's a shame, but then I am getting old, aren't I? So I'm probably too old-fashioned. And Lexi, thanks for a great stream. Many laughs tonight. Yeah,
Mhm.
thanks. Samantha, don't go. Don't go. Oh, do you remember Love Island? The plane, don't go.
Mhm.
It's like, hi. Start. Oh, we're getting near to the end.
Mhm.
And Yale
Yeah.
College. Yale. Samantha. Everybody's saying goodbyes. And definitely,
Mhm.
oh boy, I thought it was over. No. I think I just got everybody's. I think everybody doesn't want us to leave because, honest to God, I got about 5 more.
I know.
Monopoly,
It's all right,
Belfast.
good. We can do another one. I always like this one's pretty good, actually. I think it's
Just
been
chit
really
chat.
good
Maybe
fun.
that's what we'll call it. Just chit chatting.
Yeah.
And forget the law.
Mhm.
Shouldn't have said that. Don't tell anybody. It's our little secret. No, I can't say that anymore either. Can't say it's our little
Mhm.
secret. Nope. Everything has a different everything has a context, doesn't it?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, you read this one. Henry, that's why.
Teacher argued. Yeah.
With the pupils.
Henry, that's where the teacher argued with the pupils about identity. Told them one girl was a cat. Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I saw this one where a girl in Mexico married a dog. Oh. They had a wedding and everything. Of course, the cute little baby that my grand puppy, I don't have him now, but I will be getting him in another week's time, I think. And he is so cute. Oh my God. They're just so easy to get along with. And not very much. Now, Katie's kitchen, I'm hungry and my kids are mowing
Mowing down the apples. They're probably eating them. They're hungry. That's like my son. He could eat out of the house.
Oh my God, I bought a whole bunch of apples. And I was telling Jean, I think they give me migraines because I was eating them
the
so
skin.
much. But I haven't eaten yet either. I've just had chocolate donuts from Marks and Spencer. Sad, really.
Yeah, I'm about to open a bag of chips, but
oh my gosh, I bought. When I went to Florida, one of the times I'd been to Florida, and they had the corn chips with the different colored ones. Have them here now, Marks and Spencer's. I've noticed them over the last couple of years. They bring them out near Christmas time, and yeah, I love them. All the different colors. So I bought a bag of those. I'll probably be eating those, watching a movie. I'm trying to think of what are all the movies that they're going to stop televising, right?
Yeah.
Get watching them before they take them all down.
Well, exactly. Like, they took down Bugs Bunny and that, but they'll show other violent crimes or violent video games, but they'll take out Bugs Bunny. Never understood that.
But I think, the online bill will help with that. I think it'll make it more, for children and vulnerable adults, I think, I don't think it'll, if anything, it should just make things a little more safer. Oh, did I miss something? Thank you, everybody. It's been such a treat. The show. Oh my gosh. We're sheeples. That's going to be my new go-to. We're just sheeples.
Yeah.
We're sheeples. We do what we're told and we have to. But you see, the thing is, when you train in philosophy and, you in legal stuff, like you train in
Mhm.
contract, and you learn how to see both sides because you have to know the other side's story when
Yeah.
you're going to court. Because if you don't, you're not going to win very many cases because they could
Mhm.
surprise you with something. So you're always, it's like chess. You're always trying to be one head, ahead of them
Yeah.
and guess what's going to, what's going to happen. And, or at least block chats. Is that what you said?
At least, yeah.
Yeah. And I was saying to people, if you came in late, definitely, I do have a video on lies. Can you be not criminally, but can you be, at risk
Mhm.
if you're telling lies about someone else, defamation,
Yeah.
and even if it's in a chat box. So, be careful. I'm sure
Yeah.
this chat is really good, though. We have
Yeah, it's
the
been
best,
good.
right? Like, that didn't
No,
come
it's
out
been
by
real good tonight. Actually, this has been really fun and good.
crap bagels. No, she's clarifying. You see, that's what our lives will be like. We'll have to
Mhm.
clarify everything after we say it.
Yeah. All these disclaimers you're gonna have to say.
Yeah. Like I lied. I said I was going to end, and I didn't. Feud is fuel. Okay.
Mhm.
I think, okay. I didn't know National Lampoons. Samantha, you are excellent. It's been really
Yeah.
fun, everybody. And, what was this one? One more before we go. There's always one more. Remember the old saying, one for the
Yeah.
road? We don't say that anymore.
Yeah.
That is definitely, so we are Orwellian. We do not say that anymore because we're all teaching each other about the law.
Yeah.
Remember in the olden days, I don't know if anybody's too young in here, but
Mhm.
that's what you used to say before you left a party, you'd have one more drink.
Yes.
One to the road, right? The road you were driving on that you could barely see. That's terrible, really, when you think about it, isn't it? It's
Mhm.
like, yeah, I suppose everything when you think back and you
Mhm.
know what you know,
Yeah.
wasn't probably all that stuff going on before, but we just didn't
Mhm.
know because we didn't have the
Didn't
internet
know it.
to know so much so quickly, unless you knew somebody.
Yeah, I got one at the Samantha just put up, and she said, "Yellow
Samantha
shirt
is
dead."
hilarious.
Yeah, she
Oh, go
said,
on.
"Yellow shirt dead. I wouldn't recognize you in any other color." Well, thank you. But I have done one live with I joined a panel, and it was one of those days where I was so tired. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna put a yellow shirt on. I went with a blue shirt. And everybody was like, "Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm too tired."
Unacceptable.
I know. Well, I keep my yellow shirts now. I got plenty of them.
If you see
But thank
even
you.
in the video that I did for the prep for this video,
Mhm.
shows Russell Brand talking, and there are other people that are saying he wore white for a reason,
Mhm.
and stuff like this. And I mean, we live in we have to think about everything,
Mhm.
which is, we have to think about our garbage being separated. We have to think
Yeah.
about what we wear. What does it say? I mean, I can't even put one color of nail polish on. I put multicolors
Mhm.
because I can't make my mind up. I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah. In a way, that's sad sometimes, but yeah. Mhm.
No, it's my hairdresser told me this is the way you do it because when your nail polish um,
Mhm.
starts to come off, then you just put another color
Yeah.
over top of it. So you end up with a rainbow of colors on your
Mhm.
Columbo. One more thing. Oh, I love Columbo too.
Mhm.
And Samantha, GE wasn't. I don't get that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
JE. Uh-oh. This is like a guessing game.
Well, then type in Google search.
Yeah. but she knows everything. So, I mean,
Yeah, I don't.
Yellow Shirt Dad is your shtick.
Yeah, the space
Don't
time
thank
continuum. Yeah, yeah. The Star Trek needs a new movie to come out. I'm waiting for.
And you see, I thought for a real life background that Yellow Shirt Dad is the perfect person for this kind of
Mhm.
you know,
Thank you.
Orwellian idea that
Well,
words are
yeah.
being, because I know I have to control words for court. I mean, that's
Mhm.
obvious, right?
Yeah.
And you know, but do comedians and
Mhm. Oh yeah. I gosh, I could
double
probably
think and everything, and
do a live on that with how many times I was telling people these cell phones are going to be listening to you in about 15 years or 10 years, and sure enough, here we are. So yeah.
yeah. Well, I think that's well, we like to end on a positive
Mhm.
note. So trust no one, question everything. That
Mhm.
is perfectly a good
Yeah.
positive message. And Jeffrey, the bloke we can't. Oh, I get it. J.E. I get it now. See, my brain wasn't even there. I thought J.E. was Jesus.
Yeah.
What's the short form for Jesus?
Oh
Oh,
gosh, not Jesus, but it was something else. What would Jesus
so
do? Something like that, or
I don't know, but that's a really good point, a great point to end on.
yeah.
She was talking about something that I had no clue it even
Mhm.
meant that. And poor Roseanne Barr got kicked off the show that she created
Yeah.
because a message she put out there, other people reading it didn't have that background for it and
Mhm.
misinterpreted it. And that's what we don't want. I don't like
Yeah.
cancel culture people. I don't know if I should get angry or not. I think. And so it makes me want to support people more when other
Mhm.
people are judging them when they haven't
Yeah.
even heard the side of the story. And that's what we want to make sure this, you know, yes, we all have to be careful of our words. That makes sense,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, it does. Because you do. I mean, I gotta watch it too, so
Well, I want to say thank you to Yellow Shirt Dad.
yeah.
And we've made it past the 800.
Yeah.
So thank you
Well, thank
very
you,
much,
Karen.
subscribers. And now I guess 900 is on its way. We have to be
Mhm.
careful of the giveaway tool to make sure, because, you know, YouTube doesn't want anything to do with it. So
Mhm.
we do have to be careful of that. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, thank you, Karen, for having me come up tonight and doing the
yeah,
live.
so everybody check out Yellow Shirt Dad.
Mhm.
And honestly, you can put, as long as
Mhm.
your channel is decent, I don't mind it being in my chat. And yeah, hopefully we'll have another live.
Mhm.
I've got something coming up with a victim of DA, domestic abuse. It's kind of a story that everybody, I think, will like.
Mhm.
Person, very, very, very creative person from England, and doing really, really well.
Mhm. Yeah.
And when these things happen, you know, we're going to talk about what happens when you lose that creativity and you
Mhm.
lose who you are because of someone else's actions. So I think
Yeah.
that will be a really, really good chat. And we're trying to put that together. So that's coming up soon. And we're going to have a lot of fun. This person's going to amaze you, and you're going to fall in love with her. Okay. So
All right.
Yellow Shirt Dad.
Yep.
And let me just say, I have to get all these banners.
Yeah, thank
So
you everybody for coming out.
yeah, you do your goodbyes and then I'll say
Mhm.
goodbye. And thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you all.
I'm going to put 2 screens up so that Yellow Shirt Dad can end on one of them and I will end on the other.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We have to back up. Okay, wait. Let's start this over, people. We can't leave that one up on the screen while we're ending. It's like the show that'll never end. Now I don't know where that comment is. There.
There we go.
Okay.
It's all good.
Start it again. Good night, everybody. And
Good night.
I gotta find them. Okay. Okay. Night, everybody.